highest love, the most pure love, unconditional love. If we have to use words, we can say it's guru disciple or teacher student, or we can say it's one being who's giving of themselves, of what they discovered to be the highest nature, true self-knowledge, the highest knowledge they've found. They're giving that, they're sharing that with another being who's actually authentically hungry and thirsty for it. So there's a giving and there's a receiving in both. Both are very fulfilled. You get energy when you give, when it's received. When it's not received, you lose energy. So those who complain and say, well, I'm trying to share this knowledge with friends or family and they don't like it and they're draining me. No, you're draining yourself. Don't share it. It has to be, you have to be playing tennis with somebody who knows how to hit the ball back. When that's there, when that's the only thing that both beings are actually totally tuned on, which is self-knowledge, self-realization, awareness of who we are beyond the human dimension, our formless nature, when that is the highest priority in that relationship, then that love's pure. That love won't die. Romantic love, it'll never be pure. Now, there's exceptions. There's always exceptions, so I don't want to talk absolute. But by far and large, say like that, when it comes to romantic love, it's very much housed in getting inordinate needs met, from trying to get your partner to fulfill these needs, trying to get them to fulfill certain desires you have, personal desires. That makes the relationship corrupt. And the sexual instinct usually screws things up, because that gets in there, and then everything starts to become about sex. And then the other person, if they know that, they'll try to use that as a manipulation tactic, and it's just, everything gets really messy. So now, when it comes to family love, that's also not very pure, because you have the family instinct. It's that instinct that is making it impure, because you can't help but love, your son or your daughter or your mother or your father. It's because the instinct is like compelled. That's the software that the universe gave us, and for a very good reason. All this software, even though a lot of it's not pure, it's necessary to keep this planet going. So it's still love, but it's not pure, because the family instinct corrupts it. Same with, now friends. Friends, next to the highest example that I've already given, which you can say is some type of guru-disciple type love, that's the highest. The next, though, which is also high, is friend, because that's not dominated by sexual instinct. It's not dominated by family instinct. It's more like the election of your own heart, that you feel drawn to this other being. That can be pure. The only little thing, though, it's a lot of time it gets too diplomatic. It's like, meaning like, oh, they're my friend, I can't really call them out. It's my friend, I don't want to lose my friend. See, in guru-disciple relationship, that's not a factor, because the so-called teacher wants to call them out. You get called out for things that aren't true for you. So, and the disciple knows that. They're like, yeah, call me out. Even though if it hurts, it's irrelevant. They can bear that. Because remember, the main goal is self-realization. In a friendship, it's not as pure. Now, there are exceptions. There's friendships that are very divine. There's romantic love also that can be very divine. And there's family love, where actually you have some match. There's some matching between the parents and the sibling and the daughter and son. There's like some karmic matching, like you've been family before in previous lives. Now you're family again, and that same chemistry you get when you recognize another. When I talk in the videos about, you recognize, you meet a girl and it's like, well, I've known her forever. There's certain family situations where that's also felt. It's like Yogananda had that with his mother. If you read his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, they were so bonded. So it exists, but it's more rare. Now, the reason that disciple guru, we're just using those words because I have to call it something. So don't get caught up on the words if you can help it. Some can't help it. You'll still get caught up, even though I'm saying don't get caught up, but I can't control that. When it's a relationship where somebody is giving of themselves, the highest knowledge, and the other being's drinking, the reason that's so pure is because there's no possession. You're not trying to possess that being. It's like God's using the relationship. God's playing the role of both beings in that relationship. God's waking up God. And that's the main focus. And so, like, that's all there is. When that is all there is, self-knowledge being the main goal, true self-knowledge, not this knowledge you read in books and worldly knowledge. That's the thing. People study and learn so much about delusion, meaning material things, and they don't know themselves at all. It's like weird. When that is the main highest goal, man, you can't miss. That's the most satisfying relationship, because the purity is a vibration. When that vibration and frequency has that level of purity, you're on top of the world. Now, most beings, they won't find that. They don't even know what I'm talking about right now. That's okay. I'm making this video because, like, God wants me to make a video. But those who can tune to that, who understand that, then that means you're in that higher frequency group of souls. You're going to attract something like that. Something. And for the girls watching, it don't have to always be the man that's the teacher and the woman is the disciple. Often that's the case because of the play of masculine and feminine energy. Feminine energy is generally more, feminine energy can merge easy with things. Masculine energy can merge easy. That's why the girls get messed up if they get the wrong guy. And girls can just take the shape. They're like raw material, they can be shaped and shifted. That can be good if the being they're with is higher level. A girl actually can come into self-realization easier than a man because of her surrender nature. A guy has too much ego and arrogance and mind, and so we're not perfect as human beings. But it's happened to where it can be either or. The man be the teacher, the girl the disciple, girl be the teacher, man be the disciple. Just off the top of my head, one example, and I've talked before about it, is when Shri Dayamata met Yogananda when he was speaking in either Oregon or Washington. She's like, I need that. That's what I'm looking for. She knew that at 15 because she's very high level, previous lives. She's already done, she's overcome the world before. She came back for who knows, God knows. She didn't really have any reason to come back. All she wanted to know was she wanted to wake up again. Because when you come back to this life and you're in a physical body, you need to like reawaken, even if you've awoke already in previous lives. This is the game. So she came back and she was so tuned, she knew that like, this is my lover. Totally different definition of what society calls lover. And so then they hooked up in a very spiritual way, and she stayed with him until he died. And then she continued staying at the ashram until she died. She was like 95. Okay, that's an example. The man was a teacher, the woman was drinking from his wisdom. Now, you have somebody like Anandamaya Ma. She was the teacher. And her husband, because in India, they have these arranged marriages. Back in the day, that they always had them. Now, modern society is coming in, and that's starting to become more obsolete. Unless you go to the smaller villages, they still do it. So she was another one, awoke to a very high degree from the beginning. And then the parents married her to a man who wasn't as awake. And of course, he has his lustful nature and desires, and he wants to, she looked good. She looked real nice. She's very, very pretty. And her aura, man, is just, that's what makes you attractive. This physical is so like fake. Once you start to see somebody's energy and aura, you become attracted to that. You don't even care anymore. Oh, does she have blonde hair and blue eyes? Or, oh no, she has a wrinkle, like all that silly stuff. The aura is what gives you your attraction. So she was very attractive, and the guy had a lot of lust still. He wanted to get down. This is why a lot of the Indian guys, they get happy to get married, because then they can have sex. It's all about sex. So he used to lust when he would see her, you know, and she could feel that. And you know what God did for her? She didn't do this. Never claim any kind of, when you sense some higher power coming through you, don't claim it as like, yeah, I did this, you didn't do it. No, the divine is choosing to express some higher expression through you because it wants to. Yeah, you didn't do anything. So it expressed through her. Every time her husband would look at her like in some lustful way, without even her knowing it, she would transform into like a very violent version of Kali, which is one of the female goddesses in India that they still worship. And he would shake him out of it, you know. Or she would look very pale and sick. She'd look vibrant and healthy when he's looking at her with pure eyes. As soon as he started lusting, she like transformed into some sickly figure, because it's the play of the divine. He has good karma for him to even see that and experience that. You see how the God's using her to like wake him up? So he came out of it after some point, and he became her disciple, basically. There's no ego when it comes, this is the thing, you transcend all this nonsense, like, oh man, I'm not gonna bow down to it. You transcend all that. You see the divine. You're bowing down to the divine. That's it. And she knows that. And so she's not gonna use that against him. Oh yeah, I got him now. Hey, go buy me a horse and carriage. No, it's like, it's another level. Well over 90% of the people that watch this, they're not gonna be able to tune to what I'm saying. I don't care. I'm making these videos for a much higher reason, not doing it for views. I still think my videos get too many views and I have too many subscribers, meaning if it come right down to it, if I made a video, I was thinking about this the other day, if I made a video and the title was ABC, the people that would end up watching that are more close to who are really feeling this message, because the algorithm wouldn't promote it because the title makes no sense. So those who really are tuned to this sharing, this level, they're checking this person's channel to see if they uploaded a video. They're not checking this, they're not looking, relying on the algorithm to send them videos. Oh, okay, here's a cool video. Oh, there's another cool video. Yeah, I'm not talking to those people who are just like, I'm not like some kind of entertainer where I'm here to fulfill people's like entertainment or curiosity. I'm sharing a real message here, and so I'm only interested in those who are really feeling a real message. But that would be, so those people who have 100,000 subscribers and 1 million subscribers, yeah, make a video and just put ABC, see who comes. Much smaller percent. And then if you want, do a group. Say, look, I'm gonna do a group, everybody. All my 1 million subscribers, I wanna do a little group. Wow, I have so many people that like me. Okay, here's a group. Charge $50, right? Even if you don't need it. That'll weed out the riffraff. And then see how many people come. Even smaller percent. And it's like, wait a minute, I had 1 million subscribers. What, 50 people came? 30 people? Maybe nobody would come. Yeah, this is most people are attracted to clout, superficial clout. They're not interested in finding the real people here. So let's get back on topic. I wrote a few things. I want to make sure I usually hit everything, but okay. No possession. Yeah, I touched on that. No possession, just transmission. There's a transmission of spiritual current and energy, divine energy, that is getting circulated between these two beings. This is a much higher satisfying energy and much more medicinal energy than what your average relationship has. Your average relationship is just circulating anxiety back and forth. This is a relationship where you're aware, you can say, of your soul nature to some degree, and the teacher is aware of their soul nature to some degree. And so it's soul relating to soul. It's a much deeper level. It's free of all the nonsense that your average relationship is tied up in and caught up in. Most people, it's body to body. Oh yeah, they look good, and I look good. Oh. Or mind to mind. It's the mind talking to the mind. And you can never get along really like that, because the mind has a bunch of needs it wants to get met, and desires and wants, and the other person also has a bunch of needs and wants, and so then how are you going to get along? In a higher relationship where you only want to experience the divine and to dismantle obstructions that seem to be blocking that flow, in that kind of relationship, there's no impurities. Where's the impurities? There's no impurities. Even if feelings come up, yeah, you'll get triggered and you can get pissed off, and yeah, but so what? Like that'll wear off, because your main goal is self-realization. That's why the highest relationship is, like I said, a teacher-student, or somebody that's giving the highest knowledge and the other receiving it. And it doesn't matter who's playing what role, if it's man or woman. Okay. I think that's everything. See, most people nowadays, this so-called love, it's not real love. It's not love. It's a binding love. It's a love that like hooks you in to become somebody's slave. It's not real love. Real love is, it liberates you. Real love is, they don't want anything from you. They only, like I said, I'll keep saying, one wants to impart this knowledge that grace gave them, and the other one wants to receive it. In that relationship, it expands you, man. It liberates you from ego consciousness in this small little human self. Man, I'm just so small. I have all my little material goals, and yeah, I'm a little lustful addict, and I justify it by saying the doctor like tells me I should do it. Just that very low level world we live in. That's called sleeping. But people don't know they're sleeping, because that's all they know is what they know. And then they're surrounded by a bunch of other people that potentiate this delusion. That's why I say good luck. Good luck for those that want to wake up, because the cards are totally stacked against you, but it's possible. It's possible because look what's being shared right now. If you're listening and you're jiving on that, that means the divine is still, look, every age, no matter how dark the age is, God's in there somewhere. There's some little pocket. It's usually scattered, but real truth is being disseminated. You see? So if you're ready for that, then you attract it. You find it. You find the right videos, the right books, the right people. Don't get impatient. Then the mind will say, yeah, I'm ready, but I can't find anything. No, you have to be patient. You can't control how this show works. You trust the universe is setting everything up. This dimension moves very slow. Very slow. You'll attract it when you attract it. Who cares if you take your in the last second that you're alive, if all of a sudden this liberation comes to you, where you see things clear. You're like, whoa, I see how this was all a delusion. Even if it comes the last second, you made it. Your whole life was worth it. You're like free now. Even if you come back to a human life again, you've already been free. And so you'll get free again. Your life it served its purpose. So all that matters is you have this burning desire to be free. That's all that matters. Let that take you all the way. It will take you all the way. There you go. Have a good day.